first of all, there's like this mystique around a Tarantino type film.
Yeah.
It's almost like Kubrick-esque, in terms of the hubbub around it. Did you feel that kind of thing on set, or are you experiencing that at all now?
Well, when I told everyone that I had been cast in a Tarantino film, the first thing they were like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." And what's so wonderful about that is that the guy's only made 4 films, and for him to basically get that kind of reaction from everyone, he must be doing something right.
Now, are we in the volume 1? We see a little bit of you. Are we going to see a little more in the second one?
Well, I think there's flashback memories. I'm not trying to give away, but there's a reason why you might not see that much of me in volume 2. But there's definitely flashback scenes, which explains how we got to where we are.
Okay, now, when you hear a Tarantino film, a lot of the movies are dialogue-driven. This one's a little more visual, though. What did you think when you saw the script? What stood out to you?
Well, for me, that there was so much female empowerment in the film that he wasn't afraid to make the females graphic, strong, and violent. So for me, that was refreshing.
And I'm sure you've been asked this already today, but tell me about the training. How did you go about getting ready for this role?
Well, we trained for 3 months here in Los Angeles. We worked out 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. Then we went to China and we worked out there for a month. I didn't even film. I just went to Beijing, China, and worked out. And then I came back to America, and I trained with a trainer for a month. And then finally, I got to kick some booty.
And how detailed is the fight scene that you have with Uma?
Well, it's extremely choreographed. It's choreographed by Master Wu Ping and his staff. They were involved in every single part of the movie. Part of our fight scene. Everything was choreographed, and I was glad so that there were no mishaps. Yeah. Because it was a brawl.
Now, were there any mishaps at all that happened during that? Because it's a pretty rough scene.
Yeah, it's a rough scene. There's a couple of times where I remember one time I went to go back over the couch when she kicked me, and I kind of missed and hit my shoulder and my neck and my back, and you just had to get up and shrug it off and keep it moving.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about your character. She's still a little bit of a mystery, but if you could tell me whatever you can.
I play Vernita Green, a.k.a. Copperhead, a member of the Deadly Vipers assassination group, which is known as the Divas. She is really good with blades, and I play a female assassin. And the Deadly Vipers disassemble because Uma's character gets pregnant and decides that she wants to get married. We come and we kind of mess up her wedding, and when she recovers, she goes on a revenge rampage. I now, 4 years later, am living in suburbia life in Pasadena, married to a doctor, and I have a child, and the rest you have to check out.
Nice. Now, what is Tarantino's directing style?
His directing style, I love Quentin because he's very clear. There's no guessing games with him. What you see is what you get. He doesn't sugarcoat. But if you have a problem, he's very hands-on. He's not one to sit in his chair and go, "What's your problem? Who cares? Just do it." He'll come and talk to you about him. He's very hands-on and very intense when he does work.
Now, you mentioned a female empowerment type of film. When I seen it, I didn't see that, there was a bunch of women fighting. I just saw people fighting. Is that kind of what he wanted to do out of that, or was there any stress?
No, he wants you to see chicks.
Is that what?
Fighting, getting bloody, but looking sexy.
Cool.
So it's crazy, sexy, cool.
All right, thanks a lot for your time.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.